This series of modules has been prepared to promote a greater awareness and understanding of athletic trainer professional responsibilities. You are now beginning Module 2, Professional Practice and Responsibility. Module 2 will explain your obligation regarding state regulation, examine the elements and purpose of the BOC role delineation study and practice analysis, review the components of the BOC Standards of Professional Practice, describe the BOC Professional Practice and Discipline Guidelines and Procedures, explain why professional liability insurance is vital to protect your professional practice, and emphasize the importance of maintaining accurate personal records. As mentioned in Module 1, 49 states in the District of Columbia regulate the practice of athletic training, and the BOC exam is accepted to obtain regulation in all 49 states. It is important to recognize that passing the BOC exam is only a precursor to athletic training practice. Compliance with state regulatory requirements is mandatory and the only avenue to legal athletic training practice. Whether your state requires a license, registration, certification, or is not regulated at all, it is your professional obligation and legal duty to comply. It is your responsibility to make sure you fully understand the Practice Acts, continuing education requirements, and other pertinent information for the state or states in which you practice. Although the BOC works collaboratively with these agencies, they are separate entities from the BOC. This link provides direct access to agency websites, practice acts, state rules and regulations, and other information for each state. It is your professional responsibility to understand and comply not only with the BOC Standards of Professional Practice, but to understand your specific, unique state regulatory requirements and obligations. Each state has different legislation that governs the practice of athletic training. The scope of practice in each state varies, and it is important to know that state regulation always takes precedence over BOC certification. It is your professional responsibility to understand the language and scope of the regulations for your state and to practice accordingly. The language of state practice acts may be a bit confusing, so we encourage you to seek a mentor or attend a seminar at a state, district, or national level specifically designed to help you understand these regulations. Remember, compliance with state regulatory requirements is mandatory and the only avenue to legal athletic training practice. Additionally, many opportunities to contribute to promoting a greater understanding of state legislation are available at the state level. Contact your state association president or governmental affairs representative for more ways to become involved. As mentioned earlier, the BOC hosts a biannual athletic trainer regulatory conference where professionals from around the country engage with participants on athletic training legislative and regulatory activities. Athletic trainers should register for a National Provider Identifier, or NPI number. Applying for an NPI number is quick, easy, and free. An NPI number is required for all transactions and claims, coordination of patient benefits, patient medical record system, and prescriptions. It allows other healthcare professionals, such as physicians, physical therapists, chiropractors, physician assistants, hospital systems, etc., to know who provided the patient's care or referral. An NPI is essential for electronic medical records compliance. With healthcare reform solidly underway, it is more important than ever that each athletic trainer obtains his or her NPI number upon licensure. Having an NPI is more than a reimbursement issue. It's another way to stand up and be counted in the health profession community. To be counted as an athletic trainer, obtain an NPI number by visiting the National Plan and Provider Enumeration System website. Remember to identify yourself with the following codes as a respiratory, rehabilitative, and restorative service provider using provider code 22, and use the appropriate code to identify you as an athletic trainer. Many of you are or will be familiar with the role delineation study / practice analysis, or RDPA, in your academic programs as you prepare to challenge the BOC certification exam. Considered the blueprint for the exam, you should be intimately familiar with the purpose, creation, and uses of the RDPA to prepare yourself for the exam. The RDPA provides domain descriptions and task statements and depicts the current knowledge and skills professional athletic trainers possess within the domains and tasks. It is reviewed every 5 to 7 years. It can be used by athletic trainers, program directors, educators, preceptors, employers, state regulators, state associations, legislators, and students. The BOC certification program aims to establish that individuals have the knowledge and skills necessary to perform tasks critical for safe and competent practice. The RDPA validates importance, criticality, and relevance to practice for both broad content areas and tasks. The RDPA is significant for content validity because it ensures that the domains of athletic training covered on the BOC exam reflect the range of practice settings throughout the U.S. An RDPA is one of the methods used to identify and prioritize critical tasks of a job or profession and the essential competencies an individual should possess to perform the required functions satisfactorily. Additionally, the RDPA has multiple uses. Not only is it a tool for candidates preparing for the exam, but for program directors and educators to cross-compare NATA ECE's competencies document and program development, for employers to determine how an athletic trainer can practice in their state, for state regulators, state associations, and legislators, as a resource to determine what athletic trainers are educated in for the purposes of writing state or federal legislation or reimbursement initiatives, and for athletic trainers as a guide to identify areas in need of professional development and to promote the profession by highlighting all of the knowledge and skills ATs have. So as you can see, this document has far-reaching implications for our profession, and it is your role to become familiar with the content and uses of this essential document. For details regarding the most current RDPA, please visit the BOC website. As mentioned in Module 1, the BOC Standards of Professional Practice is divided into 2 sections: Practice Standards and Code of Professional Responsibility. The practice standards clearly define the essential practice expectations for all ATs. The Code of Professional Responsibility outlines the codes necessary to serve as an AT in the profession. Compliance is mandatory. The standards are intended to assist the public in what to expect from an AT, assist the AT in evaluating the quality of patient care, and assist the AT in understanding the duties and obligations imposed by virtue of holding the ATC credential. The practice standards are not intended to prescribe services, provide step-by-step procedures, or ensure patient outcomes. The Code of Professional Responsibility mandates that athletic trainers and applicants act in a professionally responsible manner in all athletic training services and activities. The BOC requires all ATs and applicants to comply with the code. The BOC may discipline or take other action with regard to the application or certification of an individual who does not adhere to the code. For details outlining the professional standards and the Code of Professional Responsibility, please visit the BOC website. An athletic trainer who has direct knowledge that an individual is practicing athletic training without state credentials, practicing outside of the scope of their State AT Practice Act, or is not adhering to the BOC Standards of Professional Practice, must report the violation to the appropriate state regulatory authority and to the BOC. This is both the legal and ethical responsibility of all ATs. It is commonly known as duty to report, and this ethical duty to report is a common obligation for regulated healthcare professionals. Failure by an athletic trainer to report known violators represents a failure to protect the public and the profession. Furthermore, failure to report will result in disciplinary action by the state and/or the BOC. To report unlawful AT practice, do the right thing and file a complaint on the BOC website. The Professional Practice and Discipline Guidelines and Procedures provide clear information regarding investigations, report of discipline, consequences of not complying with certification requirements, and impaired practitioner policies, to name a few. It is an important document for you to read, understand, and reference on a regular basis. The procedures also provide detailed descriptions of the forms, disciplines set forth by the BOC. Since each of these forms of discipline have serious consequences for ATs, it is imperative that you fully understand this document. Other important procedures regarding the BOC certification can be found in the complete document on the BOC website. As part of the Code of Professional Responsibility, the athletic trainer is to maintain adequate and customary professional liability insurance. Professional liability insurance protects you against covered claims arising from real or alleged errors or omissions, including negligence, in the course of your professional duties. In the event of a lawsuit, your own professional liability insurance policy would provide you with your own attorney, pay all reasonable costs incurred in the defense or investigation of a covered claim, pay you for lost wages, provide reimbursement of licensing board issues were involved, pay court costs and settlements in addition to the limits of liability. Of course, don't forget to read all the fine print, as not all policies are the same. In addition to a sponsored professional liability program linked on the NATA website, there are other professional liability programs for athletic trainers that exist to protect you and your future. Athletic trainers and candidates are required to maintain a current address with the BOC. Failure to keep profile information up to date can result in certification status being changed from certified in good standing to expired or even suspended. Athletic trainers must keep their demographic information on BOC Central current. The BOC uses email to communicate important information and reminders, so it is vital that a current email address be on file. Is your legal name going to change? Have you changed your legal name, or do you have a suffix in your legal name? Does your BOC profile reflect your current legal name information? If not, please visit the BOC website for details regarding the BOC's name change policy and form. Thank you for taking the time to view this program. Remember, the BOC is your best resource. Don't hesitate to contact us, and we will be happy to assist you.